let's look at the Apollo 11 post-flight press conference, because this is a weird one. Because these guys just return from the moon, and they look like they're in a hostage video.
Well, they look like they're at the funeral of their mother.
It does not seem like these are happy guys who just returned from the moon. Scooch ahead a little bit. Here we go. So look how nervous they look. Look at Michael Collins fidgeting. And obviously you would be nervous. You're addressing all these people. But it's the tone in which Neil Armstrong takes. And then after this, we're going to show the 25th anniversary speech, which is one of the most bizarre. Yeah, go to him talking. This is right
over its developing and unfolding.
Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit so you can hear from
It's an adventure.
Here we go.
It was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure. It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade. We all here and the people listening in today had the opportunity to share that adventure over its developing and unfolding in the past months and years. It's our privilege today to share with you some of the details of that final month of July that was certainly the highlight for the three of us of that decade. We're going to divert a little bit from the format of past press conferences and talk about the things that interested us most, in particular the things that occurred on and about the moon. We will use a number of films and slides which most of you have already seen, and with the intent of pointing out some of the things that we observed on the spot, which may not be obvious to those of you who are looking at them here from the surface of Earth. The flight, as you know, started promptly. And I think that was characteristic of all the events of the flight. The Saturn gave us one magnificent ride, both into Earth orbit and on a trajectory to the moon. Our memory of that actually differs little from the reports that you have all heard from those previous Saturn V flights, and the previous flights served us well in preparation for this flight in the boost as well as the subsequent phases. We would like to skip directly to the translunar coast phase and remind ourselves of the long chain of events that actually permitted a landing, starting with the undockings, the transposition and docking sequence.
This is going to go on for a long time.
Yeah, one interesting thing to note there, you see the two teleprompters there in the desk? These are the only guys on Earth who know what it was like to walk on the moon, and yet they're being prompted on how to answer the questions.
They just look very odd. It looks very odd. Another odd thing was that Michael Collins said that he couldn't see stars. but yet he wrote in his 1994 book about how magnificent the stars looked.
And
also, he never left the lunar orbiter.
That's right. And also, when he's asked about stars, Neil Armstrong says, "I don't recall." And then Michael Collins, to fill in for him, to help him out, says, "I don't remember seeing any."
Yeah.
Which he wasn't there. They were all three orbiting the Earth, so they had the same experience, but he forgot. So if you get the written transcript of that, the "I don't remember seeing any," they change it to Buzz saying it. You see, lightning strikes twice in the same place. What a coincidence. First, a typo that says Buzz said it instead of Michael Collins, and then in the video, Michael Collins answering a question he should know nothing about, having not been on the moon's surface.
And it gets attributed to Buzz Aldrin because
That's
it's
right.
not convenient. But if you watch
because
the video,
they didn't have YouTube
Right.
videos back then, people got the transcript. They said, we need to correct that.
Right.
Michael Collins wasn't there.
Right.
So they said Buzz said it. So,
yeah,
so they're covering for it.
let's play the 25th anniversary speech. Because again, this is a speech at the 25th anniversary of NASA, and he's giving this speech to like. Is it American valedictorians, high school valedictorians, like some of the best, brightest high school kids?
When Clinton was president.
Yeah, and so this speech is so bizarre. I've never seen anybody give a rational explanation as to what the hell he is saying, other than he's trying to tell you that something is bullshit. So listen to this speech.
In 1994, Neil Armstrong made a rare public appearance and held back tears as he spoke these brief cryptic remarks before the next generation of taxpayers as they toured the White House.
Today we have with us a group of students among America's best. To you we say, we have only completed a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean?
I think he's trying to say something. You know,
That is one of the most cryptic things I've ever heard anybody say publicly.
you can also notice that he
One of truth's
was looking
protective
down,
layers.
except that part he had memorized. Perhaps someday you'll be able to remove one of truth's protective layers. About the moon landing. How about that?
Bizarre.
As he's holding back tears, in my opinion.